Hello, welcome to Captain Dorja's Armory. This is Captain Dorja. We're going to take a look at some Jagdtiger battles today. The Jagdtiger is really, really awesome. It's a Tier 9 German tank destroyer, and I've only played 3 of the Tier 9 tank destroyers, and so far the Jagdtiger is definitely my favorite. The T-95 was awful. It was like pulling teeth. It was so slow that your team just all abandons you and dies, and you're left until last, and you just get murdered horribly. And half the time, if that doesn't happen, you encounter anyone, and they just shoot heat rounds at you and just blast right through your frontal armor. So the T-95 was horrible. I actually sold it. I sold the T-95, and I'm going to re-experience the T110E3, which is 241,000 experience. The other Tier 9 tank destroyers that I've played are the Object 704, which is pretty good. Its only real flaw is that it relies a lot on mobility to survive, and its mobility is not actually that good. But the Jagdtiger out of those 3 is my favorite, and the reason for that is mostly because of the gun. But the Jagdtiger, in my opinion, is a really good all-arounder. You can see here it's got 1,800 hit points, which is quite a lot. It's less than the Tortoise, the British Tier 10, or Tier 9, which has 2,000. But 1,800 is fairly high on the scale, so you have quite a lot of health, which is good. It's a heavy tank destroyer. Mine weighs about 71.5 tons, but it has an 870 horsepower engine, so you're not fast and agile, far from it, but also you're not cripplingly slow. The top speed of 28 kilometers per hour is about as good as a lot of the heavy tanks, and it's enough so that you can keep pace with the battle, which is good. The traverse speed, 21 degrees per second, not that quick, but my driver has 93% clutch braking, so that helps. This crew is I've actually taken them out of my Jagdtiger now and retrained them for my Jagdpanzer E100, which you can see right here. I just bought this today. So my Jagdtiger crew has moved on, and they're now Jagdpanzer E100 crew. I just have them in here to illustrate the crew skills that I had. My commander has 6 Sense and Camouflage. My gunner has Camouflage and Deadeye, which never reached 100, so it's not doing anything. But I thought it would get there faster. I should have put Repair on and then switched it later. My driver has Camouflage and Clutch Braking to help with turning. My radio operator has Camouflage and Situational Awareness. The Jagdtiger has pretty good view range, so extending it with Situational Awareness is nice. My first loader has Camouflage and Repairs, and my second loader has Camouflage and Adrenaline Rush, and I really ought to have Safe Stowage, but I accidentally put Adrenaline Rush on it and didn't notice for a really long time, and I didn't want to pay the money to retrain it, so I went with I just left Adrenaline Rush on. That's not all bad, but it's not very good either, because Adrenaline Rush is a perk, so it's not doing anything at all. But if it were at 100, it would be increasing my rate of fire when I'm on low health, and since the Jagdtiger has quite a lot of health, and it has quite good armor, and it has a good rate of fire, boosted rate of fire when you're in trouble would be nice. You can see that my Jagdtiger, or all Jagdtigers, they're fairly well armored at the front, but very weak on the sides, 250 millimeters on the front and 80 on the sides. And what I will say is the 250 millimeters is only right here on this part. Also, the mantlet is very, very thick. The front hull, lower hull of the Jagdtiger right here, I am not entirely positive, but I'm pretty sure that is just a straight up Tiger 2 armor. So I think it's 150 millimeters thick, which is not especially strong. And the machine gun ball is a weak point, and the lower plate is humongous and is also a weak point. and you do have a front-mounted engine and transmission, so you can very easily be set on fire, which is a problem. Another problem with the Jagdtiger is that it has really, really big flat sides, and it's really large from the top, so it's a good artillery target. So you have to be aware of artillery in this thing. But some of its other attributes are your strong armor means that if you can essentially get hauled down with the Jagdtiger, you're very difficult to penetrate. If you can't get hauled down, you can angle the armor, and it's very bouncy from the front, and you can basically side scrape with the Jagdtiger. And even though the side armor is only 80 millimeters, if you only expose a tiny little bit of it, shells will bounce off it because of the steep angle, or your tracks will absorb the damage, which is not always a bad thing. You can see my ammo loadout. I do not carry any premium rounds. Frankly, you don't need to. This gun is extremely accurate and it has very high penetration. For equipment, I've gone with a large caliber tank gun rammer, binoculars, and camo net, sort of the old standby for most tank destroyers, because the Jagdtiger excels at long-range combat. It's one of the best long-range combatants in the game, and the reason for that is this gun. The 128 millimeter L61. This gun has a good rate of fire, 5.3 essentially, rounds per minute, 5.26 if you want to get technical. 276 penetration, which is plenty. You can pen any tank in the game with it, you just have to know how to aim. But you can see aiming is not a problem because you have .33 accuracy. It's one of the most accurate guns in the game. Not the most, but one of the most. Aiming time is pretty fast, 2.3 seconds. And the average damage, while it's not as high as something like the Object 704, it's still quite high. 560 average damage, that's pretty high. And you can see that the damage spread is anywhere from 420 up to 700. So you can actually alpha pretty high, and you have almost double the rate of fire to an Object 704 or a T95, and you have more than double the rate of fire of a T30. So even though the alpha damage on the Jagdtiger is not as good, the damage per minute is much higher, and the precision of the gun is much higher. So the Jagdtiger is excellent for long-range fighting, but also it's decent armor and decent mobility mean that when you need to go assault mode with the Jagdtiger, it's more than capable. Right, so that's way too much in the garage. Let's get this thing into battle and take a look. So, first battle in the Jagdtiger, here we are, standard battle on Runeberg. And the first thing I notice is the enemy M46 patent driver, Big E. He is a member of Evil Chickens, which is the clan I was in until about 2 weeks ago. Big E kind of keeps to himself, but I throw him a shout out, and just being polite. Now, this match is a standard battle on Runeberg. Runeberg is a map that I really like. I like to fight it out in the city. Frankly, I don't know what to do with myself on the zero line, so I usually avoid it. The matchmaker here is pretty good for the Jagdtiger. 4 tier 9s on the enemy team, 2 M103 heavy tanks, an IS-8 heavy tank, and a M46 patent medium tank. Other than that, the match is rounded out with a few tier 8 heavies, a couple of tier 7s, and some Artian scouts. Our team has an M103 heavy tank, my Jagdtiger, an M46 patent medium, and a WZ-120 Chinese medium. And we have 4 tier 8s, a couple of tier 7s, Artian scouts. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Jagdtiger and I'm going to go into the city. I'm going to speed things up here until the match actually starts. The reason why I'm going to take the Jagdtiger city is because there's a really, really good defensive spot for something like a Jagdtiger. Something with a really strong armor around its gun. An American heavy tank like a T-34 would be good. An E-75 would be good for that spot. I think the T-32 is probably a little too low, but it's a really good spot for a Jagdtiger. So we'll go back down to normal speed here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to defend this corner. I'm not going to push all the way to the center of town, because if you take a look, we have an M103 a Super Pershing, and a T-34 who are going to cover that middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this road here. Now let's pause. Alright, you can see Big E right there in the M46 patent is making a YOLO run, which is honestly probably not the best move I've ever seen. But it was very concerned, it made me very concerned because the weakness of this position that I'm about to man is that if someone gets around your flank, you are shafted. And that is a very dangerous tank that is about to be on my flank, so I'm worried. And what makes this position so good is that, as you can see, I can put my gun through the notch right here on this side of the building, and I have a good field of fire, and I can aim out through this crack, and there's another crack over here that I can aim out, and I can have good fields of fire. And if you take a look at it from the other side, the only thing the enemy has to shoot back at is my upper casement and my gun mantlet. I don't know how thick my gun mantlet is in terms of armor thickness and millimeters, but I'd guess it's probably between 50 and 100, and it's very sloped. And behind my mantlet is 250 millimeters of upper casement armor, which isn't very sloped, but it is sloped a little more. So basically no tank in the game is going to penetrate my mantlet. Even with premium ammo, they would have a hard time. And no tank in the game is going to penetrate my upper casement unless they fire premium at me. But even if they fire premium at me, the target area for them to be shooting at is incredibly small. So with a Jagdtiger in this position, you can engage any tank in the game with impunity. You really only have to worry about being flanked, and you have to pull back every now and then so that Artie can't just zone in on you and destroy you. So, back to the game. Big E is YOLOing. I put a good hit into Big E, and the T-32 puts a hit into him. He shoots the T-32 and he continues his drive-by. I'm trying to reload and shoot him one more time, but he gets away. He's not my problem anymore. Now that T-34 needs to handle him. If I go and chase him down, first of all, I'll never catch him. Secondly, that M103 would have been shooting me in the back. It's time for me to do my job. So I take my position and I start engaging the M103. Now there, you can see the accuracy of the gun. I'm able to shoot the M103 on his commander's hatch, which is a weak point on the turret, and the damage was high at 618. So you can see that even though the Jagdtiger does not have the massive alpha damage of some of the other Tier 9 heavies, Tier 9 tank destroyers, that the damage is still quite high. Both of my hits have done almost 600 damage, so that's pretty good. Now right here, I'm turning around because Big E has managed to actually kill our artillery, and he's getting away. I was hoping to kill him right there, but it looks like my track got magically absorbed. My shell got magically absorbed by his tracks. So this is not starting out well. We're down 1-4, and they're basically running train on the entire right flank with impunity. But I can't go back and help them because we're holding this flank with an M103, a Super Pershing, and a T-34, and that's it. So I can't go back either. If I go back and help, then their heavies on that center road right here by this T-32, they'll have free run at our base. This T-32 is actually out of the field of fire that I can take from my little corner position, so I have to move around the corner more traditionally. Okay, right there. AMX M4 1945, Tier 6 heavy. Rolls around the corner, I shoot him through the turret. T-32 fires back, he bounces off my upper casement. I'm not sure, but I thought I saw the tongue of flame indicating a heat round. But I don't even think the T-32 gets heat, so that's probably just me being suspicious. I put another shot into the AMX M4. I've done 1,200 damage to him in 2 shots. He's essentially out of the fight. I have sustained no damage in return. Now, having a little duel here with this T-32, he'll never pen me with his gun, but it's going to be difficult for me to pen him either, because he's not showing any hull, and his turret is I'll never pen his turret with this gun. His commander's hatch is a possibility, but it's so small that even with the Jagdtiger accuracy gun, it is not worth shooting at, in my opinion. So I'm trying to help the M103 out because he's taking a beating. Both of the enemy M103s are over there. The AMX M4's gone over there. He's got a lot of enemies in front of him, but he's fighting like a lion to keep them off him. He's putting... This M103 had a monster game. Our Jagdpanzer... Jeez, I can't speak. Our Jagdpanther kills one M103. We've just killed their artillery. What was a crushing defeat where they were going to sweep the field and kill us has been completely reversed. Now we're sweeping the field. It's time to put the attack on. It's time for me to take this T-32 out of the game. So, Assault Jagdtiger, go. You can see right there, I fired at the T-32's side, but he backed up, causing me to hit his front hull, which was very sharply angled, and my shot bounced. I put one into the M103 and do a lot of damage to him. He's now down to almost no health. So I come in. I was going to finish off the M103, but he dies. So I go after the T-32 instead. Put another big hit into the T-32, round the corner, aiming at the T-32. Pen for no damage on his upper hull. Probably killed his gunner or driver or something. T-32 dies, so I actually finish off the Tiger even though he was at 1 health, and that is game. Now, I want to pause for a second and look at where I took hits. You can see the hit that I took on the upper casement from the M4. That didn't do anything. You can see I actually bounced 2 shots off my lower plate, but all 3 of the damaging hits that I took straight through the lower plate. So the weakness of the Jagdtiger, quite obvious. Everyone in the world shoots it. A lot of tier 10s don't even bother aiming for the lower plate. They just blast straight through this armor because it is not that strong. A lot of tier 8s can do it. Almost all the tier 9s can, and basically every tier 10 in the game can just shoot straight through anything but your gun mantlet and upper casement. So even with the tough armor of the Jagdtiger, you gotta be careful. Your armor ain't that tough. Right, well, let's cut on to Jagdtiger match number 2. So, Mountain Pass, standard battle, tier 9 match. You can see the enemy team has an E75 and an M103, both tier 9 heavies, both very, very good tier 9 heavies. They have an E50, very good tier 9 medium, and for tanksters they have an Object 704 and another Jagdtiger, so enemy team has... Well, they have 5 good tier 9s, then they're filled out with several tier 8s and a few tier 7 mediums and lights, plus an RD. Our team has an RD, a couple of scouts, tier 7 or 2, several tier 8s, and for tier 9s we have my Jagdtiger, and we have this T95, who I'm trying to give a boost to, because I thought I might have enough engine power, but all I was doing was making him go 14, and I noticed, if you look at the map, no one is going ice road. So I tell the T95, sorry dude, I wasn't making you go faster anyway, and there's no one covering ice road. So I decided to go ice road. This Leopard's going to come spot with me, and this T28 prototype is going to help me hold it, so that's good. The other guys on our team are going to push pretty much everywhere else. You can see for the rest of our tier 9s, we have an M103 heavy tank, and we have a T54 E1 US medium tank with an autoloader, and a Leopard prototype. So my plan on defending the ice road is, since there's only 2 of us and we're both in tank destroyers, the best tactic we have would be to hold at this ridge right here and allow them to come around so that we can get support from our GW Panther. The T28 prototype has suggested the same thing and has agreed to it. So you can see he's in a good position behind that rock. He has a really good field of fire. I'm here behind this bush, and the Leopard is scouting. And what I was trying to do was make it so that I was far enough behind this ridge line that when the enemy was down near where that Leopard is, they would only be able to fire at my upper casement. So that's my plan. Also, I'm hoping that my camo net, camouflage, and crew trained in camo will prevent the enemy from spotting me until I can get off a shot or two. So, now we wait. Our 1390 and our Leopard prototype have both YOLO'd and died. You can see our T-54E1 down under the bridge and our T-95 going to the bridge. T-54E1 just died. KV-5's moving down into the middle. Not, honestly, deployment-wise, not looking very good right now. You can see we have a KV-5 and an M103 coming around to attack us, and I enter sniper mode. Right, there's the KV-5. Now, I basically have enough gun penetration that I can just fire straight at him, but I still want to aim for the weak point. But I decide to go for the M103 instead. He's a much more dangerous target overall. Now, he despotted right when I fired, so I don't know if I hit or pen, but you can see I did not penetrate.
That one didn't go through.
Well, someone just penned me, and they penned me on the front hull, which means I'm too far forward. I think it was the Carnarvon. His gun is very accurate and very rapid firing, and it's low damage, and you can see I only took 208. So I think it was the Carnarvon. So me and the Leopard, me and the T-28 have at least 4 tanks going against us. We have a Super Pershing who doesn't know how to face his armor towards the enemy, so I'm going to punish him. We have a Carnarvon, and we have a KV-5 and M103. Now, the M103 is coming close to detect, which is an interesting move, if you ask me. I think the M103 would have been better served to stay at medium range, where he is more likely to be able to absorb hits, and where he can put out very effective fire with his 120mm gun. The M103 has an amazing gun. Now I'm going to go to external camera view here for a second. As you can see, I'm getting penetrated. I've just taken 4 hits. Now, the first one was in the upper plate, the second one was in the upper plate. Then I took 1 through the casement and 1 through my side while I was very sharply angled. So I think that all 4 of those were from the Carnarvon, and I think that the last 2 he was using premium ammo. We're going to take a look at the tech tree when I get out of this match. There, the M103 puts 1 through me. You can see the M103 just fires straight through my front hull with absolutely no concern and is easily able to penetrate. Unfortunately for him, I can basically do the same thing. Right there, I get unlucky and I crit for no damage, but I'm putting out good damage on the enemy right now. I just saw the T-28 fire up a heat round at that M103, so they're using Prem on me and he's using Prem on them, so I guess what's fair is fair. Now, you can see that we have killed all 4 of the attackers, but us and the GW Panther, we're the only things left. Me and the Leopard are both down to 500 health, so we are one-shottable by the E-75 and the Object 704 and the artillery. And both of us are huge arty targets, so this is not good. Now, we know that all of those tanks were assaulting from the other direction, so we're going to make a ridge defense. Someone on our team just wisely commented that TD should fall back to base, not realizing that we never left the base in the first place. So, initially I'm going to come over by this bush, and then I realize, wait a second, that M12 will just jib me. And there you can see the accuracy of the Jagdtiger gun. I snapshot at the E-75 cupola, and luck is on my side, and I pen. Our Leopard is doing a stand-up job spotting. He's up on top of the ridge, detecting enemies, and what he's actually going to do is he's going to go over to that other side to make sure we're not getting attacked from behind. And right there, I put another shot through the T-34, knock him down to about 20 health. Now, I want to just note that that was not a scoped-in sniper shot. That was an unaimed, external camera view, quick shot. Because what I'm doing here is I'm poking up onto this ridge long enough to get my gun down and make sure I'm aimed But if I'm detected as I come up the ridge, I'm not staying up here long enough to scope in and fine aim, because I know that Daddy M12 will be watching, and I do not have the luxury of dying right here. So I haven't been spotted yet, so I stay up on the ridge, but when the T-28 prototype despots, I also back off. There's no point in me sitting there if there's nothing to kill. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move up the hill to where I can kill the T-28 prototype, but then he's spotted, and so I decide to back down, because on top of the hill is much more vulnerable to Artie. Our GW Panther makes it moot, though, by killing the T-28 prototype, and the E-75 has now decided he can just move in and destroy us. So I'm scoping to try and put a shot through his hatch, but I have to come up too far. I don't have the gun depression to do it. I go to crest the hill. I see the Object 704. Pause. Look at that. Mad props to this Leopard driver. Imperialist from Clan Ego. I just want to say that Imperialist probably won this match for us. He did an excellent job spotting the ice road for me and the T-28 prototype, and then he does an excellent job spotting the enemy attack right now. He does an excellent job watching our back to make sure no one's sneaking up on us, and he performs the incredibly valuable service of executing low health targets, and he does it twice. He's got a kill. He executed that T-34. He drove up onto the ridge and killed him. And then, when we see this Object 704, we are in deadly peril right now. This object is going to roll up and kill us. But Imperialist is not having that for a minute. He knows exactly what needs to happen, and he does not hesitate to go for it. Imperialist makes the kamikaze run, and boom! Kills the Object 704. That gives me the freedom to engage the E-75. I roll over the top and shoot him, and with the high penetration of this gun and firing down at his upper plate, it essentially mitigates the angle, making it very, very easy to penetrate. So I've now put a huge hit on the E-75. The E-75's in trouble. I roll up and smack the E-75 on the back of the hull, killing him. Now it's just me and the 28 prototype, and the M12's just killed the 28. So it's me versus an M12. This is for all the marbles. What's going to happen? So, I know a couple of things. First of all, I know the M12 is faster than me. Second of all, I know the M12 is playing for the win. Thing is, I'm also playing for the win. Now, I know a couple of things about the M12. The M12 is fast in a straight line, but it doesn't turn very good. And this guy, he can one-hit kill me, but it's much more likely that I can one-hit kill him because he has no armor and no health. So all I need to do is hit, and he's dead. He needs to hit me and not have my armor mitigate any of the damage. So I'm confident. Other things I'm confident in, my gun's much more accurate. I can fine aim my gun, and my gun aims faster. Also, the M12 turns like the Titanic, so I'm confident that if I need to swivel my hull, and he needs to swivel his hull, I'll swivel faster, aim more accurately, and kill him. So, my plan is to go bridge for two reasons. First off, I think the M12 will probably go bridge, because he was last spotted here. So that means he can drop down and quickly cross the bridge, and he can get into his attack position fastest. Pause. I was right, he's going bridge. My other rationale for going bridge was I figured that if the M12 tried to get all sneaky and go ice road, if I cross the bridge, I'll spot him as he does this, and then I can swivel and kill him. Or I can drive back to base, it's just a short hop. Same thing if he went this way, if he tries to get all sneaky and go this way, while I'm on the bridge, I can spot him down here and kill him, or drive to here, wait for him, and kill him. If he went this way, I'll just get to base first and start capping, in which case, he'll have only one recourse, to come to me, and then I'll kill him. So, by my logic, going bridge almost guarantees that I'll kill this M12. And I found him, he's doing exactly what I thought. I scope in, you can see him. He can't decide if he wants to run or fight. I know exactly what I'm going to do, I'm going to fight. So I fire, kill him. Match over. 4,500 damage and a victory. That is what the Jagdtiger can do. Small aside, I just wanted to check, because of the hits that Carnarvon did to me in the Mountain Pass battle. So we're looking at the tech tree for the Carnarvon British Tier 8 heavy tank. And these are the specs for its Top Gun, the 20-pounder Type B barrel. You can see that with standard AP, on average, he will not penetrate my upper casement, but still probably could with a max pen roll. But with a Prem shell, on average, he will penetrate my upper casement. So I'm pretty sure, I'm almost certain that when that Carnarvon encountered me, and all he could shoot at was my upper casement, I'm almost certain that he switched to premium shells. So now that we've taken a look at the Jagdtiger, I hope you enjoyed that match, this video. I certainly loved the Jagdtiger. As you can see, I have kept it. I'm not selling this thing. When I get enough gold to retrain a crew for 100% and start again, I will be playing my Jagdtiger more. It is exceptional. One of my favorite tanks in the game so far, and I've played quite a few tanks. I just got this today. So far it's been a horrible experience. But I think when I learn how to drive it, this Jagdpanzer E100 is going to become awesome. So hopefully I'll be able to put something from this up. This thing's gun is just ridiculous. I hate to say it, but I've already had my upper plate penetrated, which is very frustrating because the guy was shooting up at me from really far away. So that was frustrating. But yeah, so I'm thinking next time I'm going to bring you a platoon match that I had a couple of days ago where I had to make a pretty ridiculous carry with my IS. So yeah, should be cool. So Captain Dorja here. Just remember, guys, you can never have enough big guns.